statistician, but a scatter plot is nothing more than having two variables and seeing if there's a relationship between each one. How many people studied algebra? How many people remember x and y? Right? And the coordinate system, you can plot, if it had a coordinate x and y, you know, you'd say, well, for x, let me go over 5, and y was 3, up 3, right? That's the dot, right? That's the relationship between x and y. Well, that's the same thing going on here. You take two dimensions, horizontal, you can think of this as being x, think of this as being y, and I plot the two variables. Now, in this case, what he's plotting is the length of a petal and the width of a petal for flowers. This is an agricultural study. And you can see that the petal length looks like it's related to the petal width. I mean, the longer the petal length, looks like it goes up and to the right. In other words, if x is increasing, it looks like y is increasing. So in algebra, the world was great. It was perfect. You had a line. Y equals mx plus b. Anybody remember that? Okay. You put x in, you can calculate y perfectly, right? Well, in the real world, that shit don't work. Most of the time. Because if it worked, then all 5'2" people would weigh exactly 103 pounds. Right? Because height and weight, there's a relationship, right? I mean, really tall people are heavier than really short people. And all 6-foot people like me would be probably, well, I'd be 199 pounds. But it doesn't work that way. You go to 6'2" or 5'3", you get a whole bunch of different dots, right? They're all around, right? But generally speaking, taller people weigh more. So the perfect relationship of y equals mx plus b, for the most part, okay, is a good concept, but you know, the data that we collect doesn't work perfectly like that, okay? But a scatter plot will allow us to take a look at that. And I think one more, which is a really easy concept, something called time series. Time series is nothing more than taking time and making it one variable, typically the x variable. So for example, if I were to plot the number of cellular telephone subscribers, and this is obviously outdated because it stops at 2008, but you can see that as we track through the first decade of the 2000, the third millennium, I guess, you know, it continued to rise. Well, time series is nothing more than putting time on the horizontal axis and then tracking something. And of course, we get trends this way, and we do all sorts of analysis using time series. I mean, if you're in economics, if you're in banking, if you're in business, okay, you want to see the trend always go up, right? You want it to be positive, and that's all time series analysis, okay? Questions on some of these charts and graphs. You should take a look at them, you should understand them, you should